All right, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Jayatri Pereira. I'm the course coordinator for the TKT program, as you may all know, and I will be your host for today's orientation as well. Thank you all for joining us, and I warmly welcome you all to the TKT Teacher Training Orientation. We have put together a fun-filled and insightful session for you all. The facilitators are going to briefly talk about each and every aspect of TKT, conduct a lesson, and provide information about the discounted course fee and much more. So I highly encourage you to stay with us until the end. So Susan, teacher went over the ground rules, so I'm not going to repeat them. So as she said, please keep your videos on and mics muted. And also, when you have questions, please type them into the chat box and we'll answer them at the end. We are honored to have with us Mr. Naren Moharanjadan, our academic consultant for Headway and co-founder of HLS, along with Ms. Susan Raj, head of academics for Headway. I warmly welcome both of you to the orientation. Without further ado, let's get started. To share more about Headway, please join me in welcoming Ms. Susan Raj.
Thank you so much, Jatri. And
You're
once
welcome.
again, a very good evening to all of you lovely teachers who have joined us today. Thank you for being here. So to go on to our next thing in the agenda, which is whose headway. Just to move on to my next slide, give me a second there. Okay, so while we wait, let me just give you a little brief, right? So Headway Learning Solutions, or Headway, is actually an organization that has been in the business of English language training and testing. And we have been doing this for over 25 years now. And if you have a look at some of the people that we've worked with locally within Sri Lanka, you will see a lot of the names that you recognize. So starting out with the American Center, which is a branch of the US Embassy. We worked with governmental institutions such as the University of Jayawardenepura, University of Kalani, the Ministry of Education, the Eastern University. And also we have worked with a couple of NGOs such as the SOS Village, JITI, and NITA, where we have gone in and helped them in training ESL teachers. So when we say ESL teachers, these are teachers who are specializing in teaching English as a second language. So we have to this day trained over 1,500 teachers, and this is counting because our programs are still running in these places. Addition to that, we have also worked in the industry as language and communication coaches. So we have worked with some of the top-notch organizations, and we continue to work with most of them in Sri Lanka, where we have helped them develop their language communication, general English skills, or even more specialized aspects of usage in the forte of English. So if you look at it, we've actually been instrumental in helping around 6,000 plus students. And again, this number is as of now, and this number is continuing because most of these operations are still functioning. So we hope to work with many, many more. But all of this isn't actually possible without people who have helped us along the way and people that we are proud to actually call our partners. So for that, I would like to hand over to Jayatri to talk to us about our partners.
Thank you, Susan, teacher. From humble beginnings to great heights, our journey has been shaped by the incredible support of those who believed in us and helped us grow along the way. We are grateful to everyone who has played a part in our success. With that, I would like to invite Naren sir to share a few words about our valued partners.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to see some familiar faces as well as new friends here. So it's an opportunity for me to talk to you about our partners. As many people know, Headway has been in collaboration with the British Council, first of all. So we've been the British Council partner for many, many years. In fact, we started Headway sometime 26 years ago, but ever since we started, we are working with the British Council. So our first session was in 2003, which was a session uh, Cambridge. Those days it was called CELA, CELA. So Cambridge Exams Language Certificates, but now we call it CAE, that is Cambridge Assessment English. I'm very proud to say that British Council first came to us as a first exam partner in the entire country. And we started as a Cambridge Assessment English registration partner 21 years ago in 2006. And we are a registration partner for IELTS exams as well as CAE since 2003 plus 2009. We are continuing to be a CAE and IELTS Platinum partner. Platinum partnership is a prestigious partnership by the British Council. We have been receiving these awards for the last so many years. And we are also currently one of the top 3 Cambridge Assessment English partners in Sri Lanka with regard to not only the numbers, but also the quality of program, quality of the results based on results as well as the number of registrations. So this is just a background of what we have been doing. Just to say you that we are not a new company that just comes out and think about earning some money by doing some TKT courses. No, we are very serious. As you know, the previous slides showed we have already kind of graduated 1,500 teachers. So we are still continuing. And okay, let's go to the next partnership. And we are also the channel partners for Dynet International Link, which is an American-based company and which is now working with the name of NEO. So we have placement tests, and they have been doing this for 30 years, and we joined them probably 15 years ago. And over 30 years of English language teaching, they have globally. So by joining them, we had that global experience shared with us, and they have the placement tests to assess the candidates or the students immediately to give them suitable courses for them. And they have a complete solution starting from general English to professional English, which includes business, aviation, and so many other things. And these certificates are internationally recognized. And this is to show you that we have international partnership. So Dynet and NEO are Americans, British Council is Britain. So we are the UK, and then we have partnered with 2 major English language native speaker countries. So that's us, a brief introduction to our partners. Okay, let's move on.
Thank you, Naren sir.
Pleasure.
Now we have come to an exciting part of the session, the testimonials. There is nothing quite like hearing from those who have walked the path before us. Let's listen to some of the teacher trainees and their experiences.
So as a teacher, I think we need career development training because we have to teach our students each and every day.
This is a constant changing world. Just as the other fields, this also needs to be updated.
As teachers, when we get exposure to the new techniques and strategies, we can go back to our classroom and improve in our students' learning as well as the curriculum. And we can see a great improvement in our students and also in our learning.
So when it comes to teacher training, I think it's important because sometimes there are certain technical skills that we may not know as teachers.
and it was a great program for teachers.
I'm very glad to involve with this training program because I learned a lot and it was the most amazing training program I've ever been to. Reason being that we all worked as a team and it was so much fun.
It has been an incredible journey of transformation for me as a teacher.
It's totally different from what we had learned.
With this program, I learned so many things about the new techniques, how to be more approachable to the students, how to teach English in an attractive way that the students can get the maximum benefit.
When I was applying this in my classroom, I was able to see a very huge impact in my students. And I am very proud to say that my classroom has been changing day by day.
So this has been a life-changing experience for me, learning from the best mentors and teachers who've been able to guide me to become a better teacher.
All right. Hope all of you enjoyed the testimonials. So this question is for both Mr. Naren and Miss Susan. I'm sure everyone has been eagerly waiting to hear your thoughts on this. Why does the TKT stand out as one of the most important teaching qualifications in the field? Could you give us some insights into its significance?
Yeah, Jatri, thank you so much for that question. I think that is a question that is pressing on everyone who is here today. What is so important about TKT? So TKT is Teacher Knowledge Test. And let me ask you this question, Jatri. When you think about English language, when you think about higher education, I'm sure there is certain names that come to your mind, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And one of the names that immediately comes to your mind when you think of English language and higher education is Cambridge,
Yes.
right? So the TKT is actually a test, an ESL test, which is from the University of Cambridge, right? So one thing that you are sure to get is an international qualification that is globally accepted. So whether you want to be a teacher here in Sri Lanka, or you want to be an English language teacher outside our borders, with this qualification, you are sure to be recognized as a person who is pursuing a career in English language teaching. So that is the first thing. Second thing is, I would say, having been a teacher for as many years as I have, humbly, the TKT is actually a very good place to start. We all need to start somewhere, right? And we all wonder, like, should we do this course? Should we do that? There's certain courses that even Naren sir mentioned, right? And we will talk about them later on within our session. You wonder what program is the best for you. And personally, I felt that TKT is a very good place to start. Why? Because it's designed for both new teachers. So if you're training to be an English language teacher, Jatri, this is a very good place for you to start. Or if you are an experienced teacher, you've been doing this for quite some time, but now you want to get that qualification under your belt, this is an amazing place to start, right? Also, it covers many aspects of language teaching and classroom management as well. So we will be talking about the modules in greater length later on during this program. But just to give you a brief, is you will be covering the nuances of language. You will be covering how to plan. You will be covering how to manage your classroom. So TKT is a very good place to start before you go on to more serious courses. Like I'm sure our participants would have heard of the CELTA qualification, Delta, and so on. And these qualifications are more intense and also a little bit more pricey. So I would say TKT for me was a very good place to begin my journey as an English language teacher, because it gives you that gist of what you need to know before you go into a classroom. Just to kind of tease the participants here today, you're not just going to look at the TKT, but guarantee that from the first day, you're going to be able to take whatever is being taught and put it into your classroom and see how it is different. you will see difference in the way you're delivering, and you will also see the difference in the way the students reciprocate to your new styles and techniques that you'll pick along during the course. So I hope I've answered that question, and I would like to just expand and move on to the next slide to show you a little bit more about the TKT program. So if you look at this over here, this is actually sourced out from the Cambridge website, Cambridge ESL examinations website. So it's not something that Headway is putting across to you. This is something which is actually there and it is credible. So if you look at where TKT stands along the lines of other teacher training qualifications, you'll see that it's actually right there at the very beginning point, and it covers a lot of what you need to do when it comes to your journey as an English language teacher. I hope I've answered your question, Jayatri, and Naren, if there's anything else that to
May
add
I
into
ask
it.
you a question,
Yes, sir.
Susan?
Yes, sir.
So you see CELTA and TKT.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell them what's the difference, the main difference between these two courses? And
First of
why,
all,
as well
yes,
as
sir.
why it's always better to take, although CELTA is mentioned here in the first column, first row,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
TKT is the second row, and why it's important for us to take TKT before attempting CELTA. That would just shed a lot of light on what we are discussing now.
Yes, sir. So first thing I would say, Naren, sir, like I said, is that CELTA is a lot more intense than the TKT. While this TKT, you have, I mean, the exams itself, just the way that you are examined cuts out on a lot of the pressure. So before you go into something as intense, you would like to test the water, see how you're going, probably get used to the nuances of English language teaching and all of that before you go into a course like CELTA. And another thing is, I mean, we have to admit, Naren sir, CELTA is it's a bit pricier than TKT. So before I go into something as intense and expensive as CELTA, I would really go into TKT and I would explore how English language teaching is before I go into that.
To add to that, CELTA is a full training program. That is for 6 hours, we had to be there, and we are doing a course that is similar to that when it comes to our teacher training course at the American Center, which is phase 2 teacher training.
Yes,
But
sir.
in CELTA, you have to be there and get trained. It's a very good training, no doubt. You come out as a very different person.
Yes, sir.
After qualifications, but you have to do a lot of things. So before that, if you have background knowledge, TKT is the best thing. For example, another biggest, now you were talking about prices. Let me talk to you another thing. In TKT, thank God, you're not going to write any essay type questions. The questions are going to be only multiple choice questions. That's something that many people are not aware. You are going to answer 80 multiple choice questions in 80 minutes. 80 minutes. That means each question is you can spend about 1 minute on each question. So that we need to train, of course. And to sum up, TKT is the foundation for CELTA, which is a higher qualification. As Susan mentioned, it's less pricey as well as easier than CELTA. And language your language skill, it's very important. When you do CELTA, you should equally, if you're preparing for CELTA, you have to equally enhance your own language skills to match CELTA, content. Whereas in TKT, even if you're in A2 or B1 level, and CFR is better, like PET, but even at KET level, you can still start your journey. So that is one of the main reasons. Okay, over to you. Please continue.
All right, thank you for the informative session. I know most of you are acquainted with Naren sir and Susan teacher, but let's take a moment to get to know our facilitators a bit better. I'd like to invite Naren sir and Miss Susan again to share their credentials.
Thank you so much, Jayatri. So actually, what I would like to do is I would like to tell you about Naren sir. Firstly, because Naren sir is my mentor when it comes to being an English language teacher. So way back, 9 years back, I started out, and I remember seated in front of this gentleman who you see today and telling him, I want to be as good as you. How do I do this, right? And he has got me there, but unfortunately, with his experience, obviously he keeps proceeding and I keep following, right? So just to tell you that. But see, that comes obviously with the experience and with the qualifications that he has. So first of all, we've been talking about CELTA. Naren sir is CELTA qualified. So he did go through that intense course and he made it out in flying colors, which is, which reflects in how we have followed, because we look up to him when we do our teaching. And a lot of the styles, a lot of the techniques that we picked up from Naren sir and from CELTA as well. So Naren sir finished his bachelor's in English language literature. And I mean, the love of language and the love of drama. He is also a person of the stage, right? So he has had over 30 years of teaching and training experience. Now, when we talk about teaching and training, it is not within the suburbs and not within the urbanized areas of Sri Lanka. But Naren sir began, if anyone wants to look it up, the history to Headway, I am always blown away by it, is that he began as a language teacher, not for those who actually had opportunities, but for those who had less opportunities, where English was more or less a luxury. And I still remember a story that Naren sir has narrated us over and over again, but I love hearing it, how a little girl came up to Naren sir in a government school, I think in Batticaloa, Naren sir, if I'm not mistaken, finding him because they had an extra period. I'm sure you're going to hear this story from the man himself when you join our course. But, just that love of teaching, just the love of making language not a task, but something fun, which is doable, regardless of where you come from and what your circumstance is. So that has actually been reflected in his passion for training teachers. So from being an English language teacher, he now trains teachers, and he's trained over 250 ESL teachers, and he's still doing that. He's very passionate about it. Every time I go to one of his classes, that is reflected, and you will hear from a few more products of Naren sir. So Naren sir is also the academic consultant for Headway. So his expertise are just there, and everything that we do within Headway academically has been through him, right? So that reflects, our success when it comes to the business of English language training and testing is obviously coming from the top down, right? And he is an examiner with a very prominent English assessment body. I am not, he's a Cambridge examiner. I'm not going to tell you what exam, but he's a Cambridge examiner for a very prominent international English assessment that is known worldwide, right? So this is just a little bit about Naren. So there's so much more that you will get to know as you come and follow the course with us. So Naren sir, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. That's a lot, too much to talk about. So let me now talk about Susan. And I remember the day Susan came to Headway to find a job. And I don't need to tell you by the language that she uses, the idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs and all that, pronunciation, everything put together. She was almost a 9-band candidate, if you look at IELTS and the top level candidate. But when she came, the flip side of it is she didn't know anything about teaching. She said, I know my language is good. I can speak very fluently. I can write. I'm a good reader and an omnivorous reader and all that. And she said, I don't know anything about teaching. So we took a long time to train her. And then we found that she had the potential to be the head of academic for Headway uh, City College, and also Headway Learning Solutions. She's one of the love teachers, and if you want to know about her, you have to ask those young people who come to American Center every day, and also Headway students, how good a teacher she is. And this is a good example. If you know a language fluently, you cannot be a good teacher in that language. You need to have teacher training. So, for one good example is at the moment we are training some teachers at the American Center as phase two. Some of them are French teachers. One of them is a Chinese teacher. They know their language skills, but we need qualifications as well as a passion to involve in teaching, and that's what Susan has. And as a result of that, she became the academic head of academics for us, and her contributions to Headway priceless, and we can't put a price tag on that. And she is continuing to do that. Hopefully, she will be with us. And her heart and soul is always with Headway, which we are very thankful. And at the moment, she's also preparing students for Cambridge ESL examinations, starting from starters to CAE. The top exam is CPE, and she has the knowledge and know-hows to do that. And where did she begin? TKT. And that's what I'm talking about, right? And now she also has a degree in TESOL, uh, and that is another added qualification that she's not mentioned here. So she's all that. So this is the team, and most of the time, Susan will be working in the background, preparing materials and talking to you on different matters. I'll be doing the class totally, I mean, in person, or sorry, on Zoom with you. When I say in person, I'm talking about, although it's a video calling, they are not recorded versions. You will be having live sessions on Zoom. So you are coming very closer to what you're going to learn. What do you mean by these TKT, and what are these exams? What are the content and all that? I think before that, do we have live testimonials?
Next up is that's the
Yes.
live
Thank you,
testimonial.
Susan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to both of you. I know both of you have been speaking a lot. So let's hear it from our ESL teachers and trainees. First up is Anjali, who is a teacher at Headway.
Hi, I'm Anjali Purushotmanan. I'm working in Headway. I've been a teacher at Headway since 2018. Teaching was my dream job, so I think that Headway has made my dream come true. I finished my advanced level and faced my interview at Headway in 2017. And I got my job immediately, but the classes were not given to me at the time. Instead, they provided me with teacher training. So I think the training was for about 6 months. After the completion of training, I was asked to do an exam called TKT. So that is an exam which gives you a qualification as a teacher. So the same year, I did that exam too. I think the teacher training I gained from Headway has changed my career and my whole life because I have gained a lot of knowledge from the training, the modern teaching, and also I got great ideas about the techniques and strategies, and this enabled me to better connect with, teach, and manage students during the class. The right manner and the content of the training empowered me, and also it has given me the ability to have a positive impact on my students. So now I can deliver what I know to my students and I can flourish in the class. So I think this is all happening because of the training I gained from Headway. So yeah, thank you, Headway.
Thank you, Anjali teacher. Next up is Hasini.
Before that, let me add something there about Anjali. If you
Sure,
notice that, as you notice, she came and faced the interview, and it took 6 months for us to train her to make her a super teacher. We were not in a hurry just to put her in the classroom. And what kind of training do you think we did? We did, of course, many contents from TKT, as well as practical skills, as we do in other teacher training courses. So this is um, what we do when we meet new people. So other organizations who are willing to share you, I mean, willing to get your services will be also will be interested when they know that you have done TKT and received a good training. That is why another reason for you to take take TKT as a serious endeavor in your teaching lives. Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Hasini, a current ESL trainee.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope you all can hear me.
You're audible, Hasini.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Timesha Hansi. I have done ESL teacher training program with Headway. I started level 1 program in January this year. So I'm here to share my experience. So I have learned a lot of things from this program. This teacher training program, especially the practical training we have given, helped me to develop and refine my teaching strategies and even my teaching style as well, especially with most updated methodologies and practices. So this practical training helped me to build my confidence as well, because initially I was not so confident in certain areas, I would say most of the areas. So after going through this program, it helped me a lot to build my confidence on in those areas. So this teaching practice and this teacher ESL teacher training program taught me how to apply my theoretical knowledge in real classroom scenarios, in real classroom settings properly. So it I benefited it. I benefited from this program so much, and I found the procedure of feedback and reflections is a kind of unique in this program, because it helped us as students, as student teachers, to develop our skills in practical scenarios. And especially Narayan sir taught us many things, many practical things, and helped us nourishing our teaching skills and our styles. And we were taught many student engagement techniques, modern uh, practical methodologies. So I'm currently using these things in my classrooms, and they are helping me a lot. So that is my experience. I wish you all good luck, and hope you will also experience this wonderful journey. Thank
Uh,
you.
Thank you very much, Hansi. I just want to ask you another question. If I'm not mistaken, you are already following a degree in teaching, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
So, so that's a good example. Although she's following a degree, so you don't expect everything from a degree, and an extra added qualification like this would just make you a better teacher, I hope. And thank you very much for sharing your ideas with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Hansi. Last but not the least, Shazme, a past teacher trainee, a current ESL professional, and life coach.
I think she goes as a corporate trainer. Okay.
I'm sorry if I
Hi, sir.
made a mistake.
No worries.
Thank you.
No worries. Hi, Naren, sir. Hi, Susan. Hi, Mr. Sanjiva. Nice to see you all. And yes, as Naren sir mentioned, I'm a corporate trainer. I train for soft skills and English language teaching. But a lot has been told about how this program is and what we can learn out of this as teachers. But what I would like to include here is my journey as a corporate trainer started from Headway and the American Center. My mentor, the beginning, was Naren sir, the person who pushed me into this, the person who brought me into this. My entire career, I pretty much owe it to him. I think when I started the program, I was like, oh, just a teacher, something I was doing because that's easier to do than anything else. You know how it is where we all come in and just become teachers because that's easier to fall into rather than, go into the corporate world. But I realized when I started the program, that there's a lot more to teaching, and you don't just have to tolerate the program. You can enjoy what you're doing, and that's what this program is going to teach you. Enjoy what you're doing, enjoy your teaching, and enjoy the learning process. It's not only about teaching, it's also about learning from the students. So when you enjoy what you do, you're better able to connect with your students, and that's when they actually learn from you. And that is exactly what Naren sir does for us.
All right, I hope everyone is still with us. We have just a few more points to cover and we are almost there. Next, we are going to talk about the course structure, which is very important to give us a deeper understanding of the TKT modules from 1 to 3. Here's Miss Susan.
Thank you so much, Jatri, for that. So just to tell you a little bit about the course overview, let me just tell you what to expect. First of all, we will be covering the first 3 modules of TKT. So TKT actually has 5 modules. It has the first 3 core modules, and then you have 2 optional modules in it. We will be covering the first 3. It's going to be a 15-week program. So so we will be having this program. You will be here for 15 weeks with us, and it's going to be for 2 hours per week, held virtually via the Zoom platform. So Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, the great thing about it is, like all of the participants, all of them who have worked with us, who came and told their testimony, is that from the very first day, you're going to be classroom ready with the course. So from the very first day when we start, you're going to take back things and you're going to be able to implement it into your classroom. And you're going to see a difference when it comes to the program. Right? So just to move on with it, let me give you an understanding of the areas that we're going to cover in the course. So during the first 4 weeks, we will be looking at the first module. So I'm not going to read through all of the sections, but you will have an overall understanding of the course. You will be brought into the language, the background of language. You'll be looking at some of the nuances of the language, right? And then from the 5th to the 9th week, you will be looking at the second module, where here it will be predominantly about lesson plans, how to develop a lesson plan. What are the techniques towards a good lesson plan? How to choose your resources? How to adapt lessons? So you will be covering those nuances during the 5th to the 9th week. And then after that, from the 10th to the 14th week, you will be looking at the third module. So in the third module, you will be looking at classroom management. Like, how do you communicate? How do you monitor your students? How do you give feedback? What are some of the learning strategies? And we have an interesting thing to come up, isn't it, Jatri, when it comes to learning styles and strategies that we will share with you in a little bit.
Yes.
We found it very interesting when we actually did this some time back. So,
and I took the test.
Yes,
recently.
Yeah. So these are the areas you'll be covering in the third module, which is from the 10th to the 14th week. And on the 15th week, because remember, TKT is an examination. So we will be looking at papers. We'll be looking at the final preparation towards making you ready for your TKT. So that is just an overview of the TKT, the course. But remember, now all of this isn't just going to be theoretical. And one thing I want to add, I think when Hasani was speaking, Naren sir asked her a question about her degree, and me having the same thing, Naren sir. What happens is, with a degree, you get the theoretical knowledge. You understand theories, you understand concepts. But when you come into the class, there's that other side of it. You know the theory, but how do you implement it into the class? Now, that is going to be the difference here, because this is not just going to be the theory, but you're going to have practicals. You're going to see the practicalities of the theories. And that is one thing that I need to stress on. And I would say, again, Naren sir, playing on CELTA and TKT, that would be the difference, isn't it, Naren sir? So it's not just this course content, but you are going to learn ways to put it in your classroom. How you would, this is what we keep saying. From day one, you'll be able to take what is being taught within the class and put it into your teaching practices and see the difference. Jayatri, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Susan teacher, for that lovely explanation. All right, now let's talk about the fee structure. And it's my responsibility to explain it to you all. So our standard registration fee is 2,000 rupees and the course fee is 24,500 rupees. But the good news is the first 20 people to register, we are waiving off the registration fee, bringing the total down to 19,500 rupees. Registration
Sorry
is
to
now.
interrupt you, Jayatri. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, Narisa, I can see it.
Okay.
I can see it too, sir.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, sir. Registration is now open. It is on a first come, first served basis. So please make the most of it. The ones who are willing to make a payment now, please use the bank details on the screen for the payment. I'm sure you all can see it on the screen now, which can be done online as a bank transfer. Please note that the others have time till tomorrow, midnight, to pay the course fee. But if you wish to pay the discounted fee, then it's better to make the payment right away. In the meantime, please don't leave the session since there's an interesting lesson coming up. So the ones who can make the payment now can go ahead and do it. And the others can wait till tomorrow midnight for the payment.
So does it mean that if you don't pay tomorrow, you don't have a chance to join?
Not necessarily. You could, but you could check with us before registering. That would be better. I hope I answered your question, Naren.
Sorry,
or do you have a different answer?
Can I pitch in there? So sorry, Jayatri.
No, that's fine.
So the early bird discount are for the first 20 registrations. And this is for the first 20. And I presume, you know, that time where the early bird registration takes place is up to tomorrow midnight. Am I clear? And then beyond that, you can register with us. Don't worry. If you want to call us up and get information, you're most welcome to do so, but you can register with us. Per batch, we will be having, if I'm not mistaken, 25 to 30 participants. So then we will allot a second batch with the next group of participants. So I think, Naren sir, to answer your question, it doesn't mean that tomorrow, after tomorrow midnight, you can't register. You can register with us. It's just that this early bird registration is for the first 20. If not, it will be extended until tomorrow midnight. So after tomorrow midnight, even if it's not 20, there's no early bird registration. Yeah?
Yes, although there is a question and answer time, there is some time for questions and answers, which Jayatri will do it. Just there was another question, I think immediately to be answered is, what about the exam fee? Is it included here? Somebody is asking. So better you tell that before we move on to the lesson.
Narendra, just another little thing. I think we've had a few questions that have popped up about the early bird registration, which is 19,500. So if you are within the first 20 people to register for the course, the entire amount that you will be spending for the course is 19,500. That is for the first 20. That is for the early bird. And guys, I would say, I mean, because this is a Zoom, this is a virtual program, right? So you want to get into that batch. So I would say, like, you know, if you can get in, register, make use of that opportunity of the early bird registration. And yeah, let's go to the next part.
One more question. Is it
Yes, sir.
okay to do the exam and then not do the, come to the course, learn, and maybe you can do the exam later on? Is that also possible?
Yes, you can do that. You can do that because, like I said, TKT is, yes, it is preparing you for an exam, but I don't think Naren sir or anyone at Headway are pushing you at the exam. It's more about developing your skill as an ESL teacher. So maybe, like I said, Naren, so we may have people who are experienced teachers and they just want to up your game. So you're not interested about the exam. That's fine. You can follow the course and opt not to do the exam, or you can do the exam later on. It's up to you. And that's another nice thing, Naren said, that just popped to my mind about TKT is that it's modules. You can take it. You don't need to do all 3 modules at the same time, isn't it, Naren? So you can take the first, second module later on and third module when you want. Additionally, another thing, sorry, Jatri, if I cut you there.
Fine.
Another thing is, at the end of the course, you will be getting a certificate from Headway as well. So this doesn't mean that if you don't take your TKT exam, you're going to walk away with nothing. At the end of the course, once you've finished the 15 weeks, you will be getting a certificate from Headway as well, saying that you have followed this particular course, right? So if you're one of those people who really don't care about paper qualifications and you want to just up your game as an English language teacher, this is a course for you. And I think Naren sir also shared, it's not just about knowing the language. Like, we have French teachers and Chinese teachers who are coming in to pick up the techniques and they're using it in their own classes with the language that they teach. So it's not about the TKT exam. But that being said, the TKT exam is an international qualification that you can provide to testify of your language teaching competencies. Yes, sorry, Jatri, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much for that lovely explanation. I guess we can move on then. Are we going to go ahead and go to the lesson,
Yes.
sir? Naren?
Yes. What can you please stop this slide? Stop sharing. All right, there are so many questions coming up. Some people asking, is that certificate globally accepted? And some people asking, are you going to give a certificate from Headway as well? Those questions will be answered definitely towards the end, but maybe I can give a very quick answer. As Susan already explained, Cambridge is worldwide, so it's accepted wherever you go. Imagine that you want to migrate to another country and try qualification there or continue your studies there. Yes, of course, this is a globally qualified qualification, TKT. On top of that, we also give you a certificate of completion. We will say that you have followed a TKT preparation course at Headway School of Languages or Headway City College. This is a local certificate, which also can be useful to you when you go for applying for work, for your jobs and things. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you that this is just not a lecturing course. This involves a lot of interaction in class, but we can't do a 100% interaction class with 84 people on board. So 100 people on board. So I'm going to show you a taste of what you're going to have. And that will also show you, I will also show you how the test is, what you have to do during the test. And that is going to give you an idea about what we are trying to do at Headway. Okay, so this is my lesson. It will take about 25 minutes, probably to 30 minutes. So I hope you can see the screen, everybody.
Yes,
Susan?
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So a TKT orientation sample lesson. Okay. So we'll start with this. Can you see this picture? Can you guess what these people are saying? So I'm just showcasing how a class is done. Can you see the screen? I have some problems in my, okay. Right, so I'll go on this mode. Can you guess what these people are doing? Can anybody answer using the chat?
Naren sir, we can see a black screen, Naren sir.
Or is it so? I think then it's time for you to share it as we expected this to happen. Yes.
Now we can see it, Naren sir, but it's not a, I mean, it's your keynotes, it's not the presentation.
Okay. What about now?
Now we can see it, sir.
Right. So I'll go in that direction. So this is going to be a sample lesson for you guys. So I want you to answer, and I can't go to the chat, so people, other people can help me. What do you think? Can you guess what these people are doing? So by this prompt, any answers, Susan and Jatri?
Not yet, Naren sir. Handshaking.
Okay.
Renika has said
Introducing.
handshaking.
Sorry, introducing each other.
Well done. So yes, they are shaking hands for what? They are introducing each other. Well done. So let's go to the next picture. What are these people doing? Doing to somebody else. They are doing this to somebody else. What are they doing?
Appreciating.
Very good. They're cheering. Some people are saying they're appreciating.
Applause. We're getting the answers. Applause, Naren sir,
They're giving
appreciating.
applause, or giving applause. So when you look at all these words, all these ideas put together, they are appreciating something, somebody, right? For doing something. So what about this? Can you guess what this woman is trying to express?
Relaxation.
Relaxation. Okay. Anything else?
Satisfied.
Thanks.
Satisfied. Something else. I am very what?
Gratitude, sir.
Very good. So expressing, are you answering or somebody else is answering?
I just answered.
So let other people answer and reflect the answers. Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I know what a good student you are, but let's give chance for the audience as well. So the woman is expressing her gratitude, isn't she? What about this little girl? What do you think she's doing to her mother?
Greeting.
Good. Any other things?
Wishing her mother with a bouquet of flowers.
Wishing her mother for what?
Maybe her birthday.
For her birthday. Well done. Yes. Can you give me a phrase starting with A?
Anniversary.
Okay, another word. So as a verb, so she is doing something to her mother.
Appreciate.
Well done. She's appreciating. So she's appreciating. So we looked at those words, right? Greeting or introducing each other, and then we looked at what was the next one? Being thankful to somebody. Thank you. Now it is appreciating. So what are these people doing? Arguing. Well done. Right? They're arguing with each other. So what do you call these things? Arguing, greeting, expressing
Conflict.
Pardon? Fighting.
Conflict.
Conflict. Yeah, they are in a conflict, but what they are doing is they are arguing with each other. Right? Look at those faces. They're arguing. So previously, okay, appreciating, right? And now in this one, okay, she's very thankful to someone, so she's expressing her gratitude. And now this little girl is appreciating what her mother has done to her throughout her life, and these people are arguing. One negative thing here, right? So what are these things? These are the things we called
communication.
Functions described in the in those pictures, right? These are called language functions. Appreciating, okay, greeting, and then we have appreciating, and then we have expressing gratitude or thanking, appreciating, and all these are functions of language. So when you say normally when students talk to each other, they may not use these wordings. So we are looking at the functions of language. Why? When we write our lesson plans or when we plan our lessons to teach, we should know these are the functions. Now look at this. And also disagreeing, the last one. Okay, fine. Now, my topic today is understanding functions. Why should we understand functions? Then only we can write our lesson plans and get ready for the lesson. So look at this. What is a function? Are we talking about birthdays, weddings, and graduation ceremony? They are also functions in the normal sense, right? We are not talking about that. No. I mean, you should not get mixed up with the normal sense of the word and words that are used in language teaching. So when a teacher and another teacher talks, they know functioning means a language function, not a ceremony or whatever. Okay. So for example, if two engineers are speaking to each other, they may talk about plant. So when one engineer says to the other one, I'm going to visit the plant, what do you mean by that? Can somebody answer? I'm going to visit the plant means, are they going to visit a tree?
Site.
He is going to
Site.
Site. He's going to visit the site.
Well done, a factory or something like that. So that is plant. But two people in the agriculture field talk about that plant doesn't have enough water, then we know that that's called jargon, right? So we need to understand technical words in language. So this is function. So it's not these are not function. This is what function means. A reason why we communicate. Every time we utter, say, or write something, we do for a reason. So what is that reason? That reason is mentioned as functions. Now we see examples of functions: greeting, appreciating, disagreeing. These are the ones we saw in the picture. And there are other functions: apologizing, inviting, refusing, interrupting, expressing obligation, expressing annoyance, etc. So these are the language functions that we talk about in language in TKT and in the English language teaching world. So now functional approach and structures. So in my first lesson, I'm talking about how language teaching was earlier. It was functional approach. For example, in the 80s and 90s, course books were written, organized around functions. So if you look at the content page of a book, they might mention, okay, this is the function. This is the function we are teaching in unit 1. Next unit, we are going to apologizing. Third one, you're going to appreciating and things like that. But later on, they realized function alone is not a very good idea. So currently, we find functions taught along with structures they contain. So for example, if you say appreciating, what structure that contains? But in 80s and 90s, they memorized those things. But I'm not telling you can't just throw it away through the window, but these are important things. These are useful things when you teach certain things. Now, outside the course I'm talking to you, if you are a teacher who is teaching, preparing people for Cambridge exams, let's look at KET or PET, where people have to discuss a collaborative task, where they need to talk to each other. So when somebody says, let's go, I think the best idea is to buy a ring for the teacher. And if you want to go against that person, you don't say, no, that's not a good idea. So instead, you teach them a function. I'm sorry to disagree with you, but I think a ring would be an expensive gift. So let's do something else. So that's how we talk to each other. So many teachers in the past used those functions alone, but now what we do is currently we use functions along with structures. Now, here are some language exponents. Now, you don't know what is exponents. Don't worry, these are exponents. So you can guess. I really liked your gift for my birthday. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to disagree with you. An exponent. Could you please send me the report before the end of the month? An exponent. So what do you think an exponent is? Can anybody answer? Exponent.
The property of the appreciation or something.
Yeah, just a sentence, just an utterance, isn't it? Could be written utterance or even a spoken sentence. So this is what we call an exponent. So outside people may not know that, but language teachers should know what is exponent. That's what TKT does. to give you the knowledge of the teaching jargons and teaching techniques and things like that. So this is a very short lesson that I'm showing you. So I'm going to give you, this is what might happen in the class, not like this because there are so many people. I might put you into groups and ask you to discuss the next question. Right. So we'll just do it. Can you match the functions with the exponents in your own piece of paper? You don't need to send it. Or if you want to send it also, okay. For example, A, I really liked your gift for my birthday. Thanks. So thanks. I'm sorry, there's a typo. Thank you so much. So which one is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. You decide.
Second one.
Okay. All right. So you can go to the next one.
I'm sorry to disagree with you there. Disagree?
Yes. Very.
You send me the report making a request.
Well done.
I would rather like the blue t-shirt than the red one. Expressing preference.
And who are these people who are talking? Very good. Thank you. I don't know the names. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, this is what the functions and exponents are. So exponents means the utterance that we use to express our reason for what we are talking about. So now this is the answer. You're right. No, I'm just going fast, but in class, where I might put you into groups and then you discuss this in length, talking to each other. Otherwise, remember, whatever done in Headway is not going to be a lecture method. We don't follow 100% lecture method. We do a lot of group work, pair work, right? A lot of discussion. You can ask me, the trainer. You can disagree with me and say, I don't think so. This is correct. That is correct. So a lot of discussion will go on in the class. Now, then we have a section called reflections, and we talk about these comments from teacher. Do you agree? Number one, learners prefer learning functions to learning grammar. So some teachers say, learning functions is more useful to learning grammar. It is very useful for learners to learn functions for essay writing and letter writing. So I'm not going to do this. This is what happens in the class. Then lots of homework is to be expected. So look at this. One homework could be, right? List at least 3 different exponents for each of the following functions. You are writing on your own, agreeing, clarifying, giving an opinion. Remember one thing, in the TKT exam, nobody is going to ask you to list out 3 exponents. It's different. That's why TKT is easier than you expect, right? What you do in the TKT exam, I'm going to show you something, right? Before that, I had to go to another slide, not slide, but a document. Before that, how are you tested? There are 80 multiple choice questions. That's all. And how much time are you given? 80 minutes, 1 hour and 20 minutes for this. So each question has to be answered within a minute. So your reading skills have to be developed. And then you just write your answer. And then based on your number of questions you get, you are given a band score. The top band score will be 4 bands and the lowest is 1 band. I mean, nobody's going to get 1 band when you come to class. Our aim is 4 bands, which is the highest. So depending on the number of questions you get. So details will be discussed in the next in our class. So what we learn today will cover 5 MCQs. Now see, 80 questions are there within a very short period. Maybe this in an actual class, this will take, say, more than 1 hour, 1.5 hours, maybe 1 hour, and then we'll cover 5 MCQs. Yes, the question is the course is practical. At the same time, we also look at what we can do in the exam. Otherwise, we cannot. We have to achieve both sides, getting the practical knowledge as well as the qualifications. So practical knowledge alone is not going to prove that you have done something. So we'll cover MCQs, 5 MCQs will be covered by functions, language functions. One very good thing about TKT is the model does not change. The model is followed through the same thing. So if there are 5 questions about language function, next time also you can expect the same. There could be 5 questions about language, that is grammar, then you get the same thing. So there are 5 questions about how language learners are tested at the end of a course. We have something called summative and formative, objective, subjective. All these things will be learned and discussed in class. Okay, now before moving, I'm going to show you. So, okay, we have done these things, all right. Now I'm going to show you an actual paper. Okay, this is what happens in the exam. Now, maybe we can answer this, can't we? So let us do this. This is all you are getting in the test, right? When I say multiple choice questions, here are some functions: expressing ability, making an offer, making prediction, expressing intention, expressing possibility, making request, expressing preference. Okay, I'm going to give you only 5 minutes for this with my stopwatch. After 5 minutes, we'll discuss. Can you write the answers on your own? Just don't worry, it's not a test. We are just testing ourselves, the test. Okay. Good, some people are good, some people are sending me answers. Well done. So you can even do that. We have 3 more minutes.
Naren sir, there are quite a few answers that are coming on the chat box, Naren sir.
Yes, I'm just examining them. Yeah. At the end, we will discuss. One more minute. Sorry, 2 more minutes.
So I'm interrupting the silence a bit, just to let everyone know, those who are asking me for the bank details, it has been added to the WhatsApp group as well for your convenience. So I hope that's helpful. If there's anything else, you could let us know, but just to let you know, the bank details have been added to the WhatsApp group for those who are registering today.
10 seconds more. Okay. So we will stop there and discuss questions, right, answers. Don't worry if you get all wrong, no problem. Some of you got all correct also. Some of you are like 3 or 4 answers correct, which is very good because this is the first time you are looking at it. So if I was a good teacher, then you get better answers, as well as you must be a fluent person if you are getting all answers correct. So look at this. We'll discuss that. This is what happens in the class. We don't just give you an answer. Okay, 22 is this, 23 is this. We don't just say goodbye. We explain as teacher, and you also can discuss with us as the teacher as to why this is right or wrong. So let's look at the first one. I'm planning to come to Chile next year. So I am planning to come. So many people are given the right answer. But is it a prediction? Is it something sure or not? No, it's not a prediction. I may come, could be a prediction, but it is expressing what? Intention.
Possible. Intention.
Intention. I intend to come. Possibility means I may come. Sometimes I have a chance of coming. But here I'm saying I am planning to come is an intention. That means the answer is expressing intention, D. I'm hoping to visit you there. January is my first choice. So when you make a choice, what is that? I'm making a choice. I have now decided to come. Intention is there. Now I'm making a choice. So
Preference. Preference.
yes, expressing preference. So I prefer to come on first is my choice. But I might stay with mom then. So it could be that I'll visit you in February instead. So now he's changing mind. It could be that. So that is not sure. Which one is that?
Prediction. Prediction.
Prediction. Prediction. So number 4, sorry, 22, the answer is which one?
Prediction.
C.
C.
C. Right. Good. Now let's go to anyway, I'd be really grateful if you could share your knowledge about something. So you're asking somebody to do something.
Making request.
Making a request.
F. What's the weather like in February? How much can I see in 2 weeks? I know how to check all this on the internet, but it would be good to speak to someone. I know how to check all this.
Ability. His ability.
Expressing an ability.
I know how to do that, but I seek your advice. So 24 is A. Finally, but it would be good to speak to someone who knows the country. By the way, would you like me to bring anything special?
Making an offer.
She's making an offer. So see, you're well done. So 5 questions. Now, it doesn't mean everything would be very easy like this. There are certain things that you need to learn. So now what I'm going to do is another 5 minutes. Give me 5 more minutes, if that's possible. I am going to show you a real paper from Cambridge. Okay, we are not going to do all the paper, but I'm going to show you what the first module has for you. Right? Okay, let's go to this paper. Good. Can you see this? Yeah. If you have done any other Cambridge exams, right? They have the same idea. The first page would be like this: Cambridge Assessment English, right? Teaching knowledge. Remember, this comes under CAE, Cambridge Assessment English, teaching knowledge test. And then, as usual, they do that. Now, this must be, some people are not very good in this. This is what we need to do in class. And I will give you a lot of homework for you to do on your own, and I will suggest videos to look for to improve your grammar. So this question asks you to talk about somebody is writing something and they're asking, the best thing about the weekend is that I don't have to go to work. So what language is that? What is the grammatical term? Is it a conjunction, preposition, adverb, superlative adjective? Yes, it's superlative adjective, right? But sometimes you might not be very aware of, not very much, knowledgeable about demonstrative adjectives. Some you might know. Adverbs is very simple. Conjunction simple. What about demonstrative adjectives, possessive adjectives? Don't get flabbergasted by this. Within one day, you can know this, right? Within one class, this will get clarified. So look at this. Phrasal verb, compound noun. Remember, the first page, the first module is mostly language, not only language, mostly language, plus other things as well. So don't be put off. There will be about 15 questions about only about language. Later on, it develops into other areas. Because as I know, many people don't like grammar and grammatical terms and all that. But as a teacher, you can't say, I don't know my grammar. You have to know your grammar. And that is another good reason why TKT will force you to learn some grammar. So look at this. This is also language, isn't it? This is quite nice. You're quite wrong. These examples show that quite can be used either of this question. Okay, I'm not going to give the answer for that. Okay, so we'll do one or two answers, right? And what about this one? I can hardly see. It's so dark. In this sentence, hardly is used because, can anyone give an answer for that?
Unable to see, sir. Answer B.
The speaker is unable to see. Answer B.
Actually, the answer is
It is difficult for the speaker to see.
Difficult for the speaker to see.
Yes, that's what. Is it Fasla?
Yes,
All
sir.
Okay. The other one was Sajida, I suppose. Okay. Now look at this email. This is what we did now, right? So I'm leaving that. This is something that every teacher should know. Modern technology has evolved. So you click a button, then you know how certain words are pronounced. But here we need to learn the phonetic script. That also comes under part module 1. And look at this. Adapting your speech to the listener can involve, you have to finish the sentence. Adapting your speech to the listener can involve giving attention to register, making use of prompting, politely correcting. Any answers? You're adapting to the listener. And you're talking to somebody. That person finds it difficult to understand you. What will you do? Will you make use of prompting or will you politely correct that person in real life situation? You won't do that. What would you do is you will give
Giving attention to
register because they might not understand your high flown language. So you need to come down a little bit to adjust your level, right? I will do this one also interesting. Common feature of speech which is not fluent is what? Common feature of a speech.
hesitation.
Hesitation.
Well done.
Hesitation.
Very good. So now I'm going to check this. This is a tough one. Types of mistakes people make. So this we need to do. We need to do that course. Otherwise, it's very difficult. It's natural for all beginners to say things like, I goed home instead of I went home. Is it a slip? Is it L1 interference or is it developmental errors? Now, see, these words can be, at the moment you can guess, but you need to have understanding of these ones in class. We need to discuss a lot, right? So, okay. Any answers?
L1 error?
It's not L1 interference. It's a developmental error, right?
Development error.
Yeah, and can you give me a develop L1 interference here? Anyone, any of these answers?
It's a language error interference. L1 means?
L1 means, sorry, L1 means your mother tongue. L2 means the language that you're learning. Okay. No, we are not going to just forget about that. We will do that once you join the course. Slip is, of course, you know, right? Slip is you make a mistake without your knowledge. Accident mistakes, right? Fine. Then the next one is 46 was using a written reference. This is how reference are note taking, organizing work and all that. So here categories L1 learning, L2 learning in the classroom. These are also L1, L2 differences in learning. So you don't learn your mother tongue the same way you learn another language. It involves different skills. So we are going to learn that. Remember, this is only module 1, okay? Now, teachers' actions, techniques for presenting new language. As everybody knows, this is, I know people who are currently coming to classes also have problems with that techniques of presentation, okay? I don't know what something is coming up. Okay. Some message, sorry. So what the teacher has to do, the teacher tells a favorite story to introduce narrative tenses. So now see narrative, what is narrative tenses? And then what do you mean by all this encouraging prediction, using familiar text? All these are interesting things to learn. Don't look at this exam as a pain. You know, as Jasmine said, don't look at this as an obligation to do. Don't think this is a stressful thing to do. No, it's once you come to class and when you talk to each other, this is going to be a very joyful experience. Learning, you deep dive into language teaching into this, right? Okay, I'm going to talk to you now. You this last one, and that's the last one. I promise you. Now you are going to be in trouble here. Description of assessment. What there are different types of assessment. Some are called summative assessment. Some are called formative assessment. So summative assessment can be objective. They can be also subjective. So these words are difficult words. Not difficult. I mean unfamiliar words. We will discuss about them in class. So to do that, only one thing I will do. If somebody can answer all these 5 questions without any error, you don't need to come to the class, right? You can directly go and do the exam tomorrow. So, all right. So I'm not laughing at you, but that's the reality, okay? Can you tell me an answer for this? Only 75 will wind up. A, B, C, D, E. Just say some. Let's see your luck works.
So B.
Who says this? Well done, you are right.
Sir,
Appreciate.
I told sir.
Who is this? B. Sajida also says B. Okay, I think it's fast. Yes, you are right. So what is summative? Do you know?
Yes, sir. It is the exam which is taken place in the end of the course or end of the term, like that.
Well done. Well done. Then what about summative? Sorry, formative.
At the beginning of a lesson?
Not at the beginning, throughout the course.
Like ongoing assessments, sir.
Ongoing assessment come under that. Right? So, okay, so this is just a text, right? A grammar. No, you look at this. This is also very good. Teaching approaches, grammar, translation, total physical response, lexical approach. These are very interesting things to learn, which we will be doing it in class. Okay. So the main reason why I like TKT is that as a teacher, of course, it's not that easy, but the format is you are not tested on your writing skills, you are tested only on your knowledge about teaching. So therefore you focus on the knowledge, and that's why somebody asked me, do you have to have basic qualifications? Is it only for an English teacher? So now I think it's time to answer those questions. We have another 10-15 minutes to answer. Okay, Jayatri, can we ask the questions? Anybody can ask.
Sir. Sure, sir. I went through the chat and I found some of the questions you've already answered, sir. So I'll just shoot some questions here.
But
so,
those questions that I've answered are individual answers. So if you can read them.
Yeah, I wrote them down as well. So is the course conducted online?
Yes, it is. So Susan, you also can join. Maybe you can do that. I will wait. If you can't answer, I'll answer. Okay.
Sure, Naren sir. So yes, to answer that question, Jatri, the course is going to be done online. I believe we gave the date and the time as well, 7 to 9 o'clock on Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 7 to 9 on Wednesdays.
Another thing is quickly, Jasri, before we go to the next
Yes.
thing, because I got a lot of messages sent in about the registration.
Mhm.
So we have put the details into the WhatsApp group, and some of you were asking us whether we could just do the registration for now. Yes. So you can do the registration 2,500 to be within the first 20 to register. And then within the week, you'll have to do the payment, the fee for the course, right? So just to answer that question, because quite a few of you were asking me that. So you can register for the course by paying 2,500 today, or the first 20 registrations. And then you'll need to do the payment within the first week. So we'll be starting next week. So within that time, we need to do the payment, right? And also the payment slip, the proof of payment, if you can, we've given you the details on the WhatsApp group. Just take a screenshot of it and send it across to us so that we have a record of who has actually done the payment. Yeah, sorry, over to you, Jatri.
No, no, it's okay. I think you have answered so many questions in one
Okay.
go.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Right.
that classes will be held online and they can't pay in installments. It's just the fact that they have to pay 2,500 rupees.
Jatri, installments, what we can do is if there's someone who wants an installment, I think the best option would be to get in touch with us and we can have a payment plan done up. But for now, because that is quite a few of you who are, I do understand, making that payment right now may be a problem, but quite a few of you were willing to do the payment today itself to register for the program. So to register 2,500 and you will be considered, you're eligible for that first 20, the early bird offer. And then you'll need to do the payment within the first week. Now, if there is anyone who wants an installment, there is an installment plan, but that would be, we will talk to you in person. So probably get in touch with us for that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Susan, teacher. And they're still asking questions about the payment. So I guess
Can
we've
we
given.
can we share that slide again if that's
Yeah,
possible?
because it's just that.
I'm sorry,
Shall
I'm looking over
No,
to
that's fine.
Mr. Sanjeeva, who
Shall
is
I-
here.
Shall I just ask you like a few questions regarding the payment so you can
Yeah.
shoot the answers real quick?
So Kalhari, he wants to know when is the last day to make the payment. So see, the registration is if you want to be eligible for that early bird offer, it is the first 20 registrations are the ones who will get in for the 19,500. If not, you'll have to do the full payment. So I would say try to register in for the program within this week because we will be starting the course next week so that we have an idea of who it is. And then before we start the course, you'll have to do either your first payment or the complete payment. There's a bit of a confusion between the 2,000 and 2,500. Let me just look over to, you haven't seen the man behind the scenes. You will get to see him at some point, isn't it, Naren sir? We generally see him at some point. So we like to call him the live wire of Headway. So I'm just looking at him for the confirmation. So bear with me while I do that. Just to check whether it's 2,000 or 2,500. 2,500. So yeah, so confirmed it's 2,500 for the registration. Sharing a recording.
Yes, just a clarification. Yes, in the slide, there's a mistake, an error. It says 2,000. You're right.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So probably it was a typo on our end. We're really sorry about that. It is 2,500 as the registration fee. There is a question about sharing the recording. Is this a recording for the class, Raminda? Is that what you're asking for? I don't think it's this recording, right? So probably the recording for the actual class. So recordings will be shared. This will be shared. If I can remember correctly, Naren, so I'm going to need your help over here. So this is if you've been present during the virtual session and you want to listen to the recordings, I know we go through, we listen to it and we study off that. So at the end of the session or within, that week, our administrative team will share the recording with you through WhatsApp. But it's not to be, it's not an invitation for you to not come to the program. You cannot not. Yes,
some.
sir. Yes,
If you
sir.
don't come to the class, it won't be lively and you won't have your own questions answered.
True.
And
True.
it doesn't go into your, the soft spot.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're just watching it like a video.
Yeah.
So you can present some videos and send it to you and keep quiet,
True.
as some people do. In other courses, we don't do that. It's mostly interactive group work, as you
Yeah.
work on. A lot of
Yeah.
conversations going on. Okay.
Yes. So just a thing that I want to add on to what Naren sir says, because see, like a lot of our higher education, we're doing it virtually. So I know what it's like, right? There's a lot of lecturing, the lecturer talks, and you are very passive during the course. So at that point, I do understand the recording, the need for the recording. But like Naren sir said, anything that we do at Headway is very interactive and very engaging. So you're not going to benefit by just looking at the recordings. But yes, we do understand that you want to go back and understand what's being said, listen to it again. So we will share the recordings with you after the session takes place. And I'm sorry, guys, there is a change. So it looks like we've kind of messed up with our numbers a bit there. So the original fee is 24,500. 24,500 is the original fee. The early bird offer is 19,500. So if you are within the first 20 people to register, you are eligible for the early bird offer, which is 19,500. And this offer closes at tomorrow midnight. So remember, if we hit the first 20 of registrations by tonight, the offer ends, right? If not, it is regardless of the number, tomorrow midnight, the early bird offer ends, which means after that, you go into the 24,500. Now, there was a bit of up and down with the registration fee. So it's confirmed, I have it in writing now, that it is 2,000 rupees. It's not 2,500. So our initial slide was correct. So sorry about that. I am just not numerically intelligent. So probably my bad. It's 2,000 rupees for the registration. So let me say that again, because I know numbers and money is very important. So let me get that right again. Its original fee is 24,500. Early bird offer is 19,500, which is open for the first 20 registrations, or it's open until midnight tomorrow. So whichever comes first. If the 20 registrations happen before tomorrow noon, then the early bird offer ends. And then the registration is 2,000. Remika, yes, I do see 2,500. So what we will do is, Remika, the 500, we'll put it into your course fee. So we can do that. I am getting a few questions, Naren sir, is can we know the exam fee? So this is, yeah. So this is, this is an ESL examination. So we are not taking the exam fee for ourselves. It is what is allotted according to the Cambridge ESL examination. So it depends on when you're taking it. But let me just quickly look up and tell you this in the pounds. So then regardless of when you take it, the pounds remains the same, but maybe the amount you pay in rupees is going to be different. So give me a minute. I'm going to hand over controls to Jayatri while I quickly pull up that and get, because like, I'm really bad with numbers. So let me get that document and come back to you with the fee for the exam. Jatri, over to you
Okay,
for the question.
thank you, Susan teacher. I guess Naren sir can answer the rest of the questions.
Yes, go
All
ahead.
right, so this course is only for English teachers. Is that
Good
true?
question to ask me. No, it is not. It is a course for those who want to be English teachers, who want to get into this field. But remember, that must be your, must be your objective. It's not a course just to put in your file. It's going to be useful when you go and look for a job in another field. But if you have intention of becoming an English teacher, if you are even a young person just after A levels, want to go in this direction, this is the course for you. So you don't need to be even that is the idea, right? You don't need to be an English teacher. You don't need to have any prior knowledge about language teaching if you want to join TKT. That's another beauty of this course. You don't need any prior knowledge. But having said that, you must be at a certain level of language. That is, you shouldn't come to this course to learn language and speak language, because you're going to be a teacher here. So therefore, a certain level of language is expected. If you are below A1 level, if you can't put a sentence together, if you can't speak, there are other courses to follow at Headway to improve your language. But to become a teacher, you should have some basic idea about. You must be a good reader, quick reading. You see, 80 questions to be answered in 80 minutes. You must at least read fast, right? Okay, if you have problems in language speaking, it doesn't matter. You can parallelly develop yourself, right? Susan, are you ready with the fees?
Yes, sir. So this is from the British Council website. This is the fee structure that they have given from the 1st of September 2023 to 2024. So according to that, the TKT exam per module is 17,200. So per module, again, 17,200. This is for the TKT exam. Now, that being said, do remember that we will be issuing you a certificate saying that you have followed the course with us, and there is no payment for that, right? So yes, sorry, Naren sir.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Let me add something. British Council is our partner, exams partner. So all registrations of the exam will be done through us, can be done through us maybe. Because if you want to directly do that, you can go ahead. But if you come under us also, we can register you. Now, for example, there's another thing. For example, if there are more people in a certain area, say you're from Jaffna or Batiklo or Mathara, if you have more than 10 or 15 people, British Council promises us to give the exam to be conducted by us. But that's too early to think about that. But that's after the course we can talk about it. But Colombo, you can do that in Colombo, no problem at all.
Naren sir, so sorry. So we seem to be interrupting each other here. Naren sir, just a little information that has come across is that half the registrations have been done so far. So again, for you to not confuse, if you are anything like me, you sure would have got confused with the numbers. So let me just go over that again. The 17,500 is the exam fee. Sorry, 7,200 is the exam fee you will be paying per module for the TKT exam. That's not our fee. This is for your exam. Okay. You can register with the British Council, or I think it's the British Council only who does the TKT exams. I mean, since we're partners with the BC, that's the only one that I know about. So you can register with them for your TKT exam. That is different. Now, when it
from Remika, do they provide certificate for each module? My quick answer is yes. Each module you will have a different certificate.
And coming back to our course fee again, because I keep getting messages about that. That is the course fee is 24,500. Registration fee is 2,000. And the early bird offer is 19,500. Nearly shot myself in the leg there again by saying 200 for 2,000. Registration again is 2,000 Early bird offer 19,500 and the course fee is 24,500. Sorry if I sound like a broken record player there. It's just that my brain and numbers are a bit off charts there. Sorry, Narayan sir, we are having a few more questions with regards to the course. So we're being asked if we covered 3 modules for the TKT. So yes, we covered the first 3 modules for your TKT. The module 1, 2, and 3 are going to be covered.
And there's another question. Do you guide us to do the exam? Of course, that is the main objective of the class. We are going to guide you. We are not just going to give you something and go. No, we will guide you. Even according to our plan at the moment, the last few days are going to be exam practice throughout.
Narayan sir, just 2 more questions to shoot across to you. One, is the TKT exam an online test?
At the moment, no. At the moment, no. There is a possibility. Because all exams...
Sir, can you guide us to apply for the exam? Or if you provide any...
So, Remika, I think what you're asking is whether we can help you with the registration for the exam. Am I correct?
Yeah, if that is the question, we will give you the exam dates through British Council. Exams are not done every day. So sometimes on demand, sometimes they announce you these are the exam dates. But if we have 20 people, we can go and ask them, okay, we want an exam on such and such a date. We can do that. That's what you mean by guiding. Yeah, I mean, we are not like IELTS courses, for example. We do the class and the candidates go and register for themselves. But here it's not like that. It's like a group, and we will, whenever you are ready for the exam, we will definitely guide you through the exam registration process. Yes.
And
as a partner.
All right. So shall I ask my question? Actually, it's not my question, their question. What's the grading system?
Good. There are 4 bands, 1, 2, 3, 4. And depending on the marks you get, you are given the 4th band is the fluent person in TKT. Your knowledge is supreme at a superior level. So most commonly 3 is, many people get 3, but 4 is not a far cry. We will train you at our best to make you get that score.
Where will the ceremony be held? The certificate ceremony. The certificate ceremony for this TKT program. That was one of the questions.
Wishful thinking, but if we have a lot of people, yes, we will have a ceremony, but it is not a ceremonial certificate. It's not like graduation. You can get the certificate through the British Council. If you want a ceremony, we can arrange it. That's too early to think about that.
And last question, sir, if we don't face the exam, can we get a certificate?
Of course, you can't. Yeah, I mean, you will get our certificate definitely because you finished the course. So, headway certificate will come to you, but of course, obviously, Cambridge, you have to do the exam.
Is there an age limit for this?
No age limit. Even a 40-year-old person like me can do the exam.
I think there was something I didn't hear too well, Narayan sir, there.
I'm also not good with numbers anyway.
One last question, if you two don't mind. Is that I've been getting messages with regards to payment. I'm sorry if I've confused all of you with regards to payment. It's just that they want to know, I guess, can we just explain it again? Like they want to know when the early bird concession is going to be over. How are we supposed to know if we still get the discount or not? Are we going to post it in the group? So they have questions like that.
And you're giving the person who has the numeral dyslexia, is it, Jatri?
We'll direct it to Narayan sir then.
No, I don't want to trouble Narayan sir with that. So
well, I guess when we hit the number 20, we can inform.
Yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. When we've come to the 20th registration, we will let you know through the WhatsApp group that the early bird offer has been closed.
And let me also tell you, if the numbers are good, we are going to start on next Wednesday.
So there are two more questions, Naren. So one is, how about the course book, Naren? So do we have a course book that we are giving them? And how are we doing that?
So I was waiting for that. This is the course book that we are supposed to use, right? And this is around, let me give you the real pricing. This is not included in the book. It is 2,300, no, sorry, 2,650 rupees. This time we are not adding this into course because this is quite expensive. But I really recommend that you buy this book. We will try our best to give you at a. We have our OUP people, Oxford University. No, this is Cambridge CUP.
Yeah.
We are also working with them, so we can get a good price for you once you start the course. It's too early to think about it now, but definitely you can do this exam without the course book. We will provide you a lot of materials, past papers, so many things, but it's always better. And remember, there are no extra payment for materials and things. We will send you across, no problem. But this one is highly recommended. So lots of homework will be given, but I highly recommended you to invest on this book. Okay.
Susan
Somebody's
teach.
saying,
Okay. All right, she's gone. So I guess, Susan teacher, will you be able to answer a question? It's
Yeah.
Afra is asking something.
Yes, that's the question.
Yeah, so Afra, so just for others, so the 24,500 is for the course. The exam fee you will be paying each module is not for us. This goes to the Cambridge ESL examination department. So yes, Afra, you will need to pay for the modules. If you're taking 1, 2, or 3 modules, according to the number of modules, you will need to pay for that. But the 24,500 is the course fee for the course, for what we are doing. Right? So it's two different things altogether. So it's like,
just to clarify, we are not getting 24,500 for each module. No. For
no,
all the modules for the entire course of 15 days and 2 hours per day is what we are talking about. One person has already registered and paid the full amount also. Thanks for that.
And also now they have to pay for each module, right? It's a 17,200 examination fee for each module, not for all 3. Just to clarify things.
Yeah. So there are two major differences. One is our course and Cambridge prices. So
exactly.
According to the pounds rate, it changes, but at the moment it is 17,200.
Yeah. For each module. Module 1, 17,200. Module 2, exam fee 17,200. Module 3, exam fee 17,200. But our course fee is something else. It's separate, which is.
Herat is asking something. Can you clarify? And that could be the last question to answer.
Naren sir, just a little thing. We are almost coming to the end of the early bird offer.
Okay.
So not to push anyone, but just to let you know, because we did have the question about how will you know when the early bird offer is done. So we're almost at the end of it, but definitely we will probably drop a message on WhatsApp and let you know once it's done.
So there are 2 WhatsApp groups to be created. Jayatri, you have to create tomorrow itself. Those who have registered a separate group. And the previous group, you can still send some messages about maybe the next course starts and things like that. Okay.
Okay.
So and to answer Herat's question, Herat, registrations, if it could be done within this week, and then your payment will need to happen before we start the course. I do know that some of you are asking about installment plans. So that, of course, you will need to get in touch with us for the installment, the payment plan. Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that, this is coming from the management down, right? And I was just reminded about it. It's not about at Headway, it's not about the profits. It's about how we can change the paradigm of teaching and English language teaching predominantly in Sri Lanka. So we are always very happy to help out fellow teachers. So if you want a payment plan, you can get in touch with us and we'll see how we can help you out. We'll do the best we can to help you out. This is also why, we've given this early bird offer, because we do realize that it helps out everyone, right? So don't hesitate to get in touch with us if you want to know about the payment plan. There is another question, Narayan, so I was trying to multitask, but it didn't work out, and it goes in the lines of, yes, sir. H&D in English, if I pass the TKT exam, is it enough to be an English teacher, I think, abroad? I'm in a B2. Narayan, so would you like to answer that?
I can't give you an offhand answer for that. If you are on a B2 level, your language proficiency is okay, good, right? You are doing your HND, higher national diploma, and TKT together. Probably, I can't guarantee anything because you shouldn't get my word. I can't tell you, oh yeah, you can go and get a job. But the job market outside, you're not very much aware of that. But having said that, previously somebody asked, will you give employment in Sri Lanka? So my question is yes and no. Yes, because if you really, really work hard and prove yourself and become a good teacher with TKT qualifications, plus your practical skills in teaching, we are looking for good people, especially in our branches in Jaila, Batiklo, and our partners in Matara and so many other places. So yes, that could be possible, right? And those who are very good in their language, we have corporate training going on. Probably you can work from home. Those possibilities are there, but that's what I said, yes and no. No, if you can't prove yourself as the best teacher, it takes time. So Susan took 6 months to become a teacher before walking into a classroom. And then we have even Jayatri, and then the people who gave testimonials were Anjali, and other people also told the same thing. So it takes time. And finally, I think I answered that question, right? I answered 2 questions. Thank you very much. I'm really thrilled to see some of you in the class, and those usual people in other American Center classes as well, day after tomorrow. So, okay then, thank you very much for inviting me for this, and I'm super thrilled. I'm getting prepared for the course for next Wednesday. All right.
And thank you so much for being part of this lovely session. Thank you to both of you, and also to the ones who joined us from all parts of the country. Thank you to all of you as well, and thank you for registering. And if you don't have any other questions, have a good night. Stay safe.
So thank Jayatri for wonderful preparation and your WhatsApp groups and all that. A big applause to you.
It was a group effort.
Group effort. Plus our directors, Sanjeev Nanekar and Ranjit Anthony, who were also throughout this listening to us. I hope we did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
See you soon.
Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye. Bye, Narayan sir. Bye, Jayatri.
Bye, Narayan sir. Bye, Susan teacher.